What's up, you guys, and happy Saturday. You are back at our weekly chat show that is still unnamed. Yeah. We're working on it. You're working on it. You're helping us. I am here with all of my BFFs. I like them, well, at least most of them. No, I'm kidding. I like all of you. We've got a lot coming up on the show today.
The Olympic pools are turning green.
Gross.
And the internet freaks out over Malia Obama allegedly smoking weed.
And Tyga is finally paying his bills.
Plus, Kendall is jealous of Kylie. She's admitting it, but what's going on first, babe?
Well, let's kick things off with Malia. Was she or was she not smoking weed? Why is this such a big deal, guys? I don't know, but...
I feel like everyone making it a big deal would be the kind of people that would be like, she's dealing the marijuana.
The marijuana.
Was she doing the marijuana?
Well, what's the story behind it?
Well, okay, so she was at Lollapalooza in Chicago. As you guys know, it's the music fest where obviously there's lots of twerking, dancing, and much more.
She also wore something that showed her stomach, right?
So
racy.
hot, and it's trending like it's a
was
style.
like, literally was a sports bra. Calm
Yeah.
down.
No, I know, but the internet went crazy.
I know.
They were all freaking out that the president's daughter was wearing something like that.
Right. So, okay, so I don't know who recorded this video and leaked it, but you see her for a brief split-second smoke something, and everyone was freaking out saying it was a freaking joint, and I'm looking and I'm like, well, to what I know, is blunts are brown, and that little teeny piece was white.
Well, joints are white.
You can tell. Okay,
Maybe it's the pot smoker here.
what's the difference between a blunt and a joint?
The paper.
Okay, so I'm familiar with the brown paper, is what I'm saying. That's why I was so confused.
So, do you guys think it was a blunt or a joint or weed at all?
So it wasn't I was gonna say. First of all, don't think it matters. Whatever. She's 18.
18, right.
It is legal some
Okay.
places. You have to be 21 where it is legal. But like same with like drinking 18. I was drinking.
Okay,
when I
it's
was
a big
16.
deal, supposedly, because she's the president's daughter. But
Right.
guys, they need to stop using that against not only her, but President Obama. And if someone's gonna reprimand her, it needs to be Obama.
Yeah.
Yo, I get that we're gonna have higher standards for the first daughter of the White House, but I feel like weed is our generation's alcohol prohibition. Like, people freak out over weed. It is way less toxic than alcohol or cigarettes. And if she's an 18-year-old at a music festival having a little joint, that just means that
She's normal. She's adjusting well.
Here's
and
my-
given the circumstances of being the president's daughter, I applaud her for adjusting well.
Okay, here's my thing. I get the people that are mad. They're thinking that she's representing the White House, but my thing is she never signed up to represent the White House. That's that isn't what she signed up for her life to be like. If her dad, the president, doesn't want that to be happening, then he should make sure there's no
Did
paparazzi
you guys
around
read the
her.
article on BuzzFeed where someone discovered that she actually has a normal job, like a normal teenager job? I think she's a cashier at like a cafeteria or something.
What?
Yes.
No,
Did you guys
that's a
not see
lie.
the article?
I will literally Google that right now.
So what I'm saying is that she's a good girl. So I have no idea what
If the worst she's
know what I
doing
mean?
is
Like-
taking a little puff of a little joint, a Lollapalooza, I think we're okay.
By the way, we've had other presidents of the United States take a little puff and semi-inhale, and we've also had weed smokers win 21 gold medals at the Olympics, so calm down.
And you know what,
That's a good point.
celebrities...
Besides, you can take the teenager out of the White House, but you can't take the 18-year-old out of the teenager. It's what she's
And
gonna
I
do.
believe
that.
Barack Obama has been very open about his past and his smoking weed.
Really?
So yeah, he has. I think he's talked about it a bit. So I mean, obviously I know nothing about blunts and joints, but clearly.
Also,
I
if
don't,
you're-
but I'm just saying, I don't think it was that bad.
But if you're in middle school, maybe don't like start smoking pot just because all of us are saying it's not that bad, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I just have one last question. Do you think Obama will address this? Do you think he'll like?
No, I don't
No,
think he
you
has
don't.
to.
Okay.
He knows that it's dumb.
He would
and-
never dignify this with a response.
Exactly.
It might not have even been pop. We might
that's
be
what I-
just
right.
stirring
Honestly,
the pot.
I would be more upset if it was a cigarette.
Actually,
Me
me
too.
Really? Oh, because it's worse.
I don't know why
like,
people are still smoking
People
cigarettes.
actually die from cancer with cigarettes, whereas there is such a thing as medical marijuana. No one smokes a medical cigarette.
Do you
So-
think she should respond?
No. Let the
whether or
haters
not
hate.
she should or not, I think is up to her.
Right.
But I think don't
No.
dignify it with a response.
okay.
It's stupid.
Well,
All right, moving on. One of my favorite things that has happened this week, well, it kind of happens every 4 years at the Olympics, but is Olympic porn. So when it comes
Why
time,
does that happen every 4 years?
well, because the
When
Olympics.
you phrase it like that.
Not the porn.
Olympic porn. I just can't wait. I'm on Google. I'm refreshing, and I can't wait. No. So what happens is when the divers are getting their scores, the scoreboards show up right over their tiny little speedos, so it makes them all look naked. My favorite is this picture of Tom Daley,
He
who
looks
is
so
famously
sexual.
gay.
Look, he's just enjoying that shower so much.
He's just rinsing off, but it is so
Miriam's
good.
turned on.
I'm so turned on.
Well, who wouldn't be? They all have perfect bodies because they're divers. They spend their life working on their bodies.
I want to know how this affects the ratings.
Well,
That's why I would tune in for porn.
I think it boosts the
porn.
ratings. Now, Rylan, did the text not notice, like on the spot? Because I was at home and I noticed it, but I was like, oh, big deal. I was laughing at it because I was like, they look naked.
well, it's recurring every time the Olympics
Why
happen.
don't they move the little bar on top?
Because why?
Yeah, why? It seems like it always is like strategically framed for that to be right there.
It is a lower third though. That isn't a new thing. People
Yeah,
use
but
lower
like if
thirds
it
for
was like a
everything.
full, like if it was like their full body shot, like it would show up at like their knees.
It's kind of
Right,
like when us
exactly.
girls,
Exactly.
like they're
when
choosing.
we wear tube tops and then the little our name
Yeah.
comes up and then we look naked.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, do you guys love it or do you hate it?
I love it.
Digging
I think this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hot, right?
Very hot.
Yeah.
Do you think it's cool to objectify athletes who work hard? Or do you think they want to be
I think it's
objectified?
good to glorify
I
their
was gonna
bodies.
say, they've been working on their bodies and their craft. Let's admire all of it.
What is wrong with acknowledging beauty?
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can't
Abs.
imagine the amount of sex that's going on in Olympic Village because they're all so hot and they just.
You
What?
are reading my mind. I wonder that all the time. Like how
So
many
many
countries
attractive,
are they-
athletic people.
They're so beautiful. They're all so
question.
successful. Like, let's just all have sex with each other all day.
And so much aggression. What, Vivian?
Question from the innocent one. I thought as an athlete you're not supposed to have sex like a couple days before you. At least that's how it is for boxers.
Do any of us look like athletes?
Yes, I mean, I'm not familiar with like the athlete code of conduct, but
Code of sexual
But
conduct.
I'm sure there's so much pent up energy and aggression from competing.
They need to get it
and
out.
you're just like eating with
Rylan just wants to go to
You're just
Rio.
like, bah!
I know. I do wonder, like, what is the rate of their sexual activity? Like, right after they win the finals, is that when they go crazy? Like, there's no
Well, that's
condoms
what
that
I'm
are used
saying.
until the last day.
That's what I'm saying.
You
That's
should
what I
always
think.
wear a condom.
No, I know, but I wonder if they don't have any sex until the very end, and then it's all.
It's just
Crazy.
It's just-
Yeah.
because
Boom, 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 boom.
they're
I love that. Boom, 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 boom.
there have been so many hand gestures in the last.
One of us should have done our research. No, I'm telling you, I think that's how it is. They're not supposed to have sex before because it affects them somehow.
I mean, you're also not supposed to smoke pot. So.
But look at Malia Obama. All right, you guys. Next up, let's talk about Kendall Jenner, who is the cover star of Vogue.
Oh, weird.
She's killing. Yeah, she's killing it. But although it's another fierce cover, what we got inside the magazine was kind of different from what we normally get from her. Obviously, she's one of the most private Kardashians, but she actually spoke up about her sister Kylie, saying that she has always been jealous of her. So she said that she was always good at sports. And what? Why are you guys all rolling your eyes?
Jealous. No, keep going. Keep
interesting.
going.
Okay, well,
I'd
listen
like to
what.
try.
The reason might surprise you. So she said while she always excelled at sports in high school, she was never the popular type. So she said, quote, I remember crying in my bedroom about the fact that Kylie had so many friends and I didn't. So that's kind of sad, right?
Yeah.
But I
But
think
it's
they're
always
fine
like
now.
that among siblings. I feel like there's gonna be some kind of jealousy.
I mean, siblings and friends even. I feel like just
Yeah.
little girls in general get really jealous about friend scenarios.
imagine being
but
so famous and so successful in your own way.
and I can't even imagine growing up being one of them because they I don't even think probably realized like who they were until it gets to a point that they're just like, hello.
Well, she did speak, she spoke out on her Kardashian sisters, and this is what she said. She said, they've always been into the glam thing and dressing up every day and being in the thick of me. Part of me loves that, but at the same time, I love dressing down and having my private life. If I'm being honest, my little sister and I have every right to go crazy. You would expect that from us, but neither of us has the desire to do that. I think it says a lot about the way we were raised. So I do agree because like Malia Obama, they didn't choose to be a Kardashian in the spotlight and famous, and they do kind of have every right to go crazy. But honestly, they haven't had a crazy PR nightmare.
Yeah, no.
They've
They're
kept
pretty-
it pretty cool.
yeah.
Pretty good girls.
Yeah. And then lastly, she just talked about how modeling is the end goal for her. That is the career she wants. She's not doing that to get to
Well,
acting.
she's
to be a
great at
reality
it.
star,
I mean,
right.
when I see Kendall, she's just like a perfect role model. I mean, she's beautiful, and I feel like
And
she's so
grounded.
natural
Yeah.
and grounded.
Yeah.
I actually want to meet Kendall Jenner. I feel like she would be a very humble person.
I was gonna say if I had to pick any of them that I actually want to hang out with,
Yeah.
that is who I
What
would.
about
That's the
Chloe
one.
though?
Interesting.
If I'm picking
we're on
them
the
from
same
like
page.
if I'm picking
Okay.
them from like watching them, yes, I think Chloe's super entertaining. But someone that I'm like hanging out with and being friends, she's a little feisty, vulgar, a
Yeah.
lot. Like I
Right.
think I would be so
Yeah.
caught off guard by
And
so much that comes out of her
very
mouth.
public whenever she's
Yes.
having an issue with one of her sisters or with one of her parents.
Oh,
She will
yeah.
put people on blast. I appreciate that if there is drama, say between you and your friend
a
Kendall,
little discretion.
a little discretion is advised.
And Kendall, she does keep private. She moved kind of away from them. She lives in Westwood. She never airs her
She's
own.
like 5
Does
minutes
she?
away from here.
Yeah.
We just drove in front of her apartment
But
yesterday.
this does beg the question, now that Kendall has come out saying that she's jealous of Kylie in some respects,
Yeah.
who's Queen Bee? Because it always used to be Kim.
Right.
But now, is it Kylie? Is it Kendall? Is
I
it still
think
Kim?
they're all like they're queens of different
Areas.
kingdoms.
Wait, so is the question
Queendoms.
when you say Queen B, like who's A and who's B, or like?
No.
I'm saying
no,
who is
that's
who has the most influential power at the moment?
Okay, Queen. I think Kim.
Still?
Still.
Okay.
But I think
She's
Kylie's like
disagreeing.
taking over.
I was
think
gonna say I'd say
Kylie.
Kylie from like a commercial standpoint and selling things. I think anything Kylie does literally
Yeah.
turns into
Well,
gold.
it's crazy to me because even since we're on YouTube, even people that just do her products on YouTube, even if they're normally getting like 500,000 views, they'll get 2 to 3 or 4 million. I'm not
It's
talking
weird.
about
That's why you're
style.
talking about beauty breakers.
I'm not talking about beauty break. I'm talking about everyone. You're
It's
not the bad
true.
person to do trying the lip kit.
Well,
Like,
I-
everyone gets so many
No,
views even
I'll
just using
I'll
mine.
admit it.
Oh,
A new
God.
lip kit comes out, and we're like, oh, when's the last one? Got a
when's
million
the-
views in a day. Might as
Yeah.
well try the
When's-
blue colors.
When's the Kai Shadow video coming?
I don't know, but we got Kyliner.
Is that what you're wearing now?
No.
Miriam, what do you think? Who do you think's Queen Bee?
I think it just depends on the audience because honestly, I feel like our parents would buy anything that Kim promotes.
Yeah.
They
I don't
have
even-
no idea who Kylie
That's true.
is.
You think
So I
your
just-
mom knows about Kim?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah, my mom does. She
But
has
that's,
a
I think
clothing line.
Kim has the older generation,
Exactly.
or the more mainstream, I guess.
Yeah.
But then Kylie has her claws so deep in the
Yeah.
younger generation.
Which are who are forking out the money
Who are making their
products.
parents fork
But
over
you know
them.
what? I also think it's all about long game, and Kim has had such amazing sustainability. Kylie has exploded recently, but watch Kendall 10 years from now because she hasn't
Oh,
saturated
she's the,
us.
I think she is the most stable
Yeah,
and will
she-
make the
10
most,
years
like,
will
she'll
still-
be an actual supermodel that people are
Exactly.
talking
She
about.
stays quiet and she does her work and just lets that speak for itself, where
Yeah.
the other ones are reality
Yes.
stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So who's Queen Bee?
I don't know. What's going on next, you guys?
Can we talk about the guy climbing the Trump Tower?
I was going to say, so I was sick yesterday. I saw it trending. I didn't watch it. So
Well-
I know you had all day at home.
So I literally was uploading something to Facebook when I saw a little headline. I'm like, what is this? I watched almost the entire thing
Really?
live.
It was
Yes.
how long? I was going to say,
hours.
how long did it
No,
take
I
you?
mean, okay, so this is what I did. I watched like, I don't know, like 20 minutes in case my boss is watching this. And then I
it's only
minimized,
20.
I minimized my little window, and then I was doing my work, and I would go shoot and come back, and he was still climbing the thing with suction cups. It was really interesting, but scary at the time because this was live. It was on Facebook Live.
Was he, like, all harnessed in them?
So, okay, so he was harnessed in 2 suction cups. So if he
Right.
fell, he would fall
if
and
the glass breaks, or
die.
if the suction cup
Yes.
falls.
So,
Dangerous.
I mean, we were watching the video, and you can see the suction cups, and it looks like just like an easy, like, oh, it sticks, and then you move up. But it
It looks
had
like the thing you
sort of
unclog
like
the toilet with.
Yes, but
Plunger.
the
Plunger.
thing had
Yeah.
sort of like a vacuum, so they're actually very expensive suction cups, which is why they were able to hold his weight. Even though he was a very thin guy, I mean, imagine at least 120 pounds. So
No.
everyone was wondering, who is this guy? He is a 19-year-old man. His name is Stefan Rogata, formerly Michael Joseph Ryan. He changed his name, which already like caught my eye. Like, why did he
wait,
change
what?
his name? So, I mean, not much is known about him except that he was a normal kid. You know, his high school classmates are saying he was a very nice guy.
He had 3 first names.
He did plan the trip just to do this, though.
He did. So he went from Virginia and he drove to the Trump Tower in his parents' car. Apparently his parents come home, they notice the car is missing, and then they realize he's doing this. Now, this is not the first time that he causes trouble. I guess he ran away from home and his parents called the police.
Wow.
And, you know, they're worried about him because he has some very strong political points of views, but the question is he a Trump supporter? We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. So all we know is that he wanted a private audience, so he literally wanted to get Donald Trump's attention.
Right.
That's all he wanted. And so what does he want to say, or what is he trying to prove? We don't know. We just know that he identifies himself as a investigative, like, reporter of some sort. And
none of this makes any sense
I
to me.
know.
Well, no, what he did is he went and climbed this tower because he wanted to get Donald Trump's attention.
But
And
then
what better
what-
way to do that? And then he
but-
released a
Right.
YouTube video.
he released that before.
Oh, okay, so it
But
was
that's-
before. But he was in this creepy, you'll see over there, in this hoodie. He did that because he didn't want to reveal exactly who he was, but he said, I'm doing this so I can get your attention. I'm sending my information to your camp so
Yeah.
Donald can reach out to me and I can discuss.
So he just says, quote, I'm an independent researcher who wants to discuss, quote, important matter with Trump. So we don't know what the important matter. All I really was worried about, that he wasn't going to fall and die in front of millions of people that were watching. And secondly, that he did this peacefully. I mean, he could have taken a different alternative like we've seen in the past. And he didn't
To get
any-
Trump's attention? I'm
Well,
not really
to
sure
get-
how you get Trump's
to
attention.
get people's attention. I mean, so at least he did it peacefully. He
He's
wasn't
very
trying to hurt anyone.
creative.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
creative.
It's scary though because
It's a little
with those
creepy.
suction cups, you have to clean the glass before
Yeah.
you then suction because if it's dirty at all, it could fall
I'm
out.
not saying I
that's
think
so
it was a
scary.
good idea.
No.
Yeah.
And the
It just
building-
worked in getting the
Yeah.
national
Well
attention.
done.
The building is like 68 stories. So I think he made it to like the 21st before they broke the glass. And, I mean, I
Yeah.
felt bad
Oh,
for the
because he was
rescue
doing
team.
it without any kind of permission.
Right.
Oh, of
Obviously.
course.
Yes.
No one signed up on this.
Obviously.
Imagine,
Imagine.
great
Also,
publicity for
there's a science to this. So the people that clean the glass were saying that if you put too many suction cups
Then
on
it'll-
one square, it
it'll
breaks
break,
the glass.
yes.
Which means he would have died on national television, which is terrible.
I know.
Things
And
like
I-
that
that's why they
stresses me
had
out.
to
I don't
grab
like
him.
it.
And I felt a little bad for the rescue team because you can tell they were just talking to him and like trying to convince him to come down, and he
He's
wouldn't.
just like, no.
So
They
they
attacked
just
him.
grabbed him. What
They
else are
had
they
to
gonna
break
do?
a window in the Trump
And they just
Tower,
snatched
and then
him
they
in.
grabbed him.
That
and
must
they
be so
pulled him.
scary for them because, like, what if
Well, I
they
think
caused
they
him
were
to fall?
harnessed,
Oh.
or they caused him to
Yeah.
fall. You're right.
Yeah, but
Which
what?
is
Yeah.
why we saw one of them like grab his legs and the other one grab the upper body, but then they couldn't pull him in completely
His
because he
legs were
was
just
still
hanging.
attached.
They were, like,
Yeah.
flailing.
He was still attached to the suction cup, so they're like, it was.
What's
I mean,
sad though is now he's being held and being checked for mental illnesses and mental things. So I don't even know if
I
he'll.
think they cleared him already. I mean,
Really?
he is facing like criminal charges for breaking
Trespassing.
and trespassing and all
But
the
it,
above.
but it won't be. It's not severe.
And if you guys are
There
wondering,
aren't specific laws against suction.
Yeah,
building
exactly.
climbing.
He found a loophole.
probably
He was just trespassing, probably, right?
yeah, that's what it.
I don't know. I'm not NYPD, but
Trump
Laws.
did actually tweet out like thanking the
Exactly.
NYPD.
But that's all he did. So he acknowledged, but he said, "Hey, thanks for saving the climber." But he didn't say, "Hey, let's."
Would
chat.
that pique your curiosity? Like if you were Trump, would
It
you be
would.
like, I need to know
Would.
what this guy said?
But
Maybe.
by then, like, letting that get through, are you inviting a bunch of other people to try a bunch of weird to
That's
get
a
you
good
to
point.
pay attention that could
Right.
be way less peaceful?
right.
He needs someone like you on his team.
Can we just switch gears completely from one dumb news to another one? Two men on Fox, two reporters on Fox, decided to have a 6-minute conversation about whether or not female athletes competing in the Olympics should wear makeup. And it wasn't even a conversation of like, oh,
Why?
let's discuss the pressure that female athletes feel when they're on international television. It was specifically, and I quote, those female athletes should cover their zits and blush their cheeks so as not to offend all the people around the world who are watching.
What? Oh my gosh, I actually thought it was going to be the opposite where they were saying you cannot wear makeup.
Me too. That's why I was like, "Oh, they should." I love wearing makeup to the gym just so I don't
What?
look so.
So
hip.
these are
Yeah,
Fox
but-
News people?
Of course it's Fox News people.
I've heard a bunch of other that I've heard I watched a video about sexism in the Olympics,
Yeah.
and it was like a lot of people after like a gymnast wins, it pans to the husband, and
Exactly.
it's like,
Oh.
and the man responsible for it all, and you're like,
He's not
That's-
responsible for it all.
Well, that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about. There's been so much subtle sexism. Every time that they do talk about a woman's accomplishment, then they're like, and there's her husband, her coach, the man that turned her into the best swimmer. Like, oh, she had nothing to do with it? Or when the women's Olympics gymnastics team, which is the best in history, were standing around, one of the commentators said, well, they might as well be standing in the middle of a mall, basically comparing girls standing around each other to girls at a mall, which they would never do to men. And they said Katie Ledecky, who is basically the best swimmer in history, one of the best swimmers, along with Michael Phelps, that she swims like a man instead of just saying she swims like a woman because she's a woman, ergo she swims, and a wonderful swimmer. So there's just been a lot of stuff like that. Or the fact that you have these two Fox commentators who aren't saying, oh, these men with pimples should be wearing makeup.
I was going to say.
Well, if you guys were parents, would you ban your kids from then watching the Olympics because of this, or would you let them watch because it's the Olympics?
Oh, that's a
and
bit
sports?
dramatic. No, I wouldn't.
Well, one of the articles was all about one mom who banned her.
She doesn't want her kids watching the Olympics because of all the sexism. She was looking forward to her daughters seeing the female athletes. I was
going to say, I think that's really stupid because, one, there's sexism everywhere. So just making them not watch the Olympics isn't helping
Watch
anyone.
it on mute.
Exactly. Yeah, no, seriously. Then do that because it's the commentators that you don't even see, which I think is the way they get out of, or not get out of it, but that they feel comfortable doing it because no one's watching them. They're like sliding in these little sly comments.
I told you about the Mexican gymnast who was criticized because her thighs were so thick, and I'm like, look at my thighs. They're as big as the gymnast, and I felt so bad for her. But literally, the commentators, that's what they were saying. Like, you can eat tacos and still go and compete in the Olympics. And I'm like, and I bet you the girl's on a strict diet to prep for the Olympics.
I can't believe they're doing this.
How does one get cleared to be a commentator for the Olympics? Because I don't know how anyone would feel comfortable saying anything about these Greek gods and goddesses.
Exactly. Well, the two men that had the conversation about the women in the makeup, one of them is an ex-police chief. What the hell does he have to do with athleticism or makeup?
Yeah, it should definitely be ex-athletes. Like, you know how football commentators, well, I don't know if you watch football, they're all ex-football players.
That's how it is in NASCAR. They're all former.
That makes sense.
And
but
maybe
this doesn't seem like it's former Olympians. It seems like it's a bunch of old white men.
Exactly. Don't discuss women and makeup without at least having a female point of view represented in the discussion.
Whether they wear makeup or not, it's all personal choice. And you know what? I think they should protest and just go makeup free. Show it all, bare skin.
I am curious though, when you guys, in high school, did any of you play high school sports? Do you wear makeup when you play sports? I'm just curious.
Well, to be honest, when I go to the gym, I go after Clevver, so obviously I'm wearing makeup. But I remove everything, but I just leave the eyeliner. I'm like, well, I don't want to look, I still want to feel confident in it.
I was going to say, I feel like I don't go completely makeupless, but I'm not redoing my makeup to go to the gym.
No.
But also, if you're on the Olympics, there's so many people watching that I might actually.
Oh, no, I would probably.
But then that's a matter of the pressure we feel to look perfect,
but
especially as females.
Exactly, but we shouldn't be like, I don't want to offend other people. The fact that he even said that, I'm like, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware that my pimples could offend you.
Exactly.
They offend me.
I'm there to swim, not to model.
Exactly.
I have
it's still going to come off under the water.
One of the things that people were discussing was Simone Biles, who is now considered the best gymnast in history.
Her quote.
So her parents are actually her adopted parents. She's been raised by her grandfather and the grandfather's wife. And the fact that they even talked about this during the Olympics and they clarified, so these aren't technically her real parents. A lot of people went up in arms about it, saying, why aren't you should just be talking about her accomplishments and not calling out that her parents aren't her biological parents. Why talk about her mom, who was actually an addict? I actually love hearing these stories because it gives more,
it humanizes them.
It humanizes them, and then you're seeing what they've been able to accomplish despite these obstacles.
Yeah.
Do you guys think we should discuss these stories, or maybe that was too much information?
I think that it should be, pre-approved with whether the person wants you to be talking about it. I don't want Fox News airing all of my family history if I'm not comfortable with it.
Right.
But if I gave them the go-ahead, then
if it's something that has been that big in your life.
If you think it's going to be an inspirational thing for someone else, someone might be like, I was adopted and I've struggled with something like that. I don't know, but
I think it's amazing.
I think it's fine. It doesn't.
That's
better that than talking about wearing makeup.
Look, I don't know anything about any sports. The only reason I watch it is for the stories. So give me the drama.
Okay, guys. Speaking of the Olympics, I didn't really watch that much. I've seen all of the trending stuff, but what really caught my eye, apparently the diving and the water polo pool have turned green.
Thank you, BuzzFeed.
So yeah, BuzzFeed has been reporting of this one. But there's a bunch of different pictures that compare, but basically it starts, there's one.
There it is.
In the beginning of the day, it's blue, as the pool's supposed to be.
Did you go in there and then it turned?
Right? Literally, that's what I feel like happened to my hair. But then by the end of the day, it's turning green. So people have a lot of different theories as to why this is happening, whether it's algae, they didn't put the right chemical in the pool, if something else was going on. A lot of the divers, like Tom Daley has been tweeting about it. This morning, officially, we're filming this on Friday. So on Friday morning, the pool was closed. So that made people kind of worried, like, okay, well then what have we been swimming in for the last few days? So I don't think anyone's actually come out full on and said exactly what it is, but there was a change in alkalinity.
Alkalinity.
Where's our pool boy?
Yeah.
Can we get a pool boy in?
So apparently to get it to go back to blue, they need it to be still, which makes me a little concerned.
What?
But it's going to be back to blue soon.
Did they pee in there?
There was I don't think that has anything to do with it, but then what I thought was the funniest is that there was a tweet at the end of the day that said that it smells like a big fart.
Interesting. Well, I feel like I'd have so much pent-up energy that after I was diving or swimming, that if I had to pee, I'd just pee because I would just be like, there's so much happening.
Don't get me wrong. I've peed in a pool. I've peed in an ocean.
It depends on who's.
The ocean is
the world's
literally where pee goes.
Pools, I feel like not recently. When I was
is.
younger, yeah. But like, I almost feel like if you were competing at such a high level as, the Olympics, you might be a little too like. I feel like I wouldn't.
Cameras are on you. You could see when the water turns green in between your thighs.
The water doesn't actually turn green.
Except that
they're probably very well hydrated.
You guys, I was in Las Vegas recently with someone, maybe or maybe not my boyfriend, who promised me he wouldn't pee in the pool, and then the water started turning green, and I was like, babe.
I thought that was a myth.
It actually happened.
It's
because it's yellow
I've
pee.
seen the color change, but not necessarily green. But you can tell, you can see.
Okay, well, I mean, clearly this wasn't an entire pool filled with pee.
Or was it?
Still, if the chemicals are off, that's scary.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Brazil has been having issues with all of their water, so all of their open swimming competitions and the canoeing or the whatever the thing with the thing, and then you do this.
You know.
Sports and science.
Kayaking.
Celebrity.
The scientists started telling the Olympians.
Yeah, they were concerned.
Hold your breath and don't open your mouth when you're
What?
in the water.
How can you perform like that?
Exactly. Imagine.
Well, and that's a lot of the people. There was one team that they said that there were teams of synchronized swimmers that they did their dive and they got in the pool and they said it was so murky once they got in that they couldn't see the other person.
Oh my god.
I don't know how that can
Brazil,
happen.
you had 4 years, yo.
But I do want to know, now that we're talking about peeing and things, do you guys pee in the shower? Be honest.
Yes.
Me too.
I only pee in the shower if I'm at a hotel, not in my own house.
Really?
Yeah, I hold it.
What?
You respect your own shower,
I do
but not other
respect
people's?
my own shower.
Do you pee in the
Why?
shower?
Because you know that they're going to
pee in the
clean.
shower. And
I didn't know this was so like openly accepted. I thought I was
It's not.
like.
I think we're just all very open people. If you had a
Exactly.
few other people here, they wouldn't be admitted.
Do you
Let us
brush
know
your
in the
teeth in the
comments.
shower?
I guarantee everyone pees in the shower.
Do you brush your teeth in the shower?
Yes.
Okay. Yay.
Well, that's not like a weird thing.
Yeah,
it's not. That's more the like efficiency, convenience
Exactly.
thing that I haven't caught on to.
It's like 2 in 1. It's 2
The
in 1.
more you know.
All right, why don't we wrap this up with Tyga, because he's finally wrapping up all of his drama. You guys know the man has owed like $500,000 to his ex-landlord.
Meanwhile, buying $100,000
Meanwhile,
cars.
spending hundreds of thousands on his girlfriend who's already worth $10 million. I don't
He's a
well
singer.
know.
I'm trying to think because when him and Kylie broke up, everyone was reporting that he no longer could produce his music and do that stuff anymore because Kylie was indeed funding it. But the thing is, he has this new MTV show coming out, so I think that should be paying him a little bit of money. And I have this theory that the car that he got Kylie that was $200,000, he probably went to the dealer and was like, yo, my girlfriend's Kylie Jenner, she's gonna Snapchat and post about it on Instagram, can you give it to me for free?
Right. And they probably did.
Wow.
So I don't think he really has all this money, clearly. Now here's the thing, if you don't have the money, don't live beyond your means. This man has been renting mansions for years that are like $45,000 a month, which is insane. My life isn't worth that much money. And while he was in Turks and Caicos celebrating Kylie's birthday and having an awesome time, there was a warrant issued for his arrest because he's been owing $500,000 to just this one landlord, and he's owed several landlords.
While he's splurging out there.
He's destroyed several mansions and he's had several cars repossessed. So he finally, just this week, cut a check, we don't know for how much, to quiet down this ex-landlord, but the warrant for his arrest is still active because he didn't show up in court.
Because he was busy in Turks and Caicos.
Yes.
Vacationing for Kylie's birthday.
Instead of showing up for your business, I just feel like have integrity, dude. Pay your bills. You're a dad.
It's like for
Yeah,
people that have
it's
so
a
much
baby.
access to money and are living, like, I just don't understand how this always happens.
Like when they owe like tax money, it's like, how does that happen? How does that
Well, it's
slip
because
through the cracks?
they spend their money so bad. Like, just because you're rich doesn't mean you're good at money management.
Right.
Do you
It happens a lot to athletes.
Yeah.
They make so much money in those 4
So
or 5
quick,
years of their
yeah.
career,
And
and then
that's
they're
it.
bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the judge will still keep the warrant for his arrest just to teach him a lesson?
I feel that he should.
But
I
I
know.
think the Kardashians will
We'll
come
pay
to
him-
his
bail him
rescue.
out.
I was gonna
Because
say, I don't
it's-
know how, but it'll go away.
It's not good publicity for the Kardashians. Chris is probably already on it. I bet Kylie's the one who cut the check from Kylie Cosmetics.
God.
But then he still won't have learned a lesson if everyone keeps literally bailing him out.
His name's Tyga.
And he's like, it's funny too because he
Wow.
won't reveal his real name. He
No,
was on
has.
Hollywood Today,
No,
like,
he won't
oh,
say
really?
it. I forget what his real name is.
Is that not on Wiki?
Well, probably.
Wiki
is,
knows
but he
everything.
doesn't talk about
Tyga's
it.
not his real name.
What? I always call him Tiger, and then I'm like, crap. Sorry, spit on you.
What does it make you feel though when all these celebrities are overspending like that?
I mean, it just makes me sad that they pay probably one day of their expenses is more than I will make this year.
Is it necessary for you to install a stripper pole in your $45,000 mansion? Like,
I'm Googling his real name.
I don't know. Is it a bad? Does it put out that they're bad role models? Does it make kids think that they can just
I
live
think
like
they
this?
Did anyone ever think Tyga was a good
Oh
role
my
model?
gosh, you guys, I'm about to break the internet. His real name is Michael Ray Newen Stevenson.
I wonder what
That's a
Kylie
lovely
calls him.
name.
Do you think Kylie calls him Michael or Tyga?
Tyga.
Or Ray.
Ooh.
ooh.
She calls him Michael Outdoors and Ray Indoors.
Tyga.
I don't.
It's a rapper name. What do you mean? Everyone has to have a rapper
I
name.
know, I just.
All right. Well, this has been fun, you guys. We're done talking about Tyga and Kylie. We're going to be here every single Saturday. We like you lots. We're still trying to work out a title, so if
You guys have been amazing.
But for now, we should make up a hashtag like Untitled Clever, just so they can tweet us.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cute.
Untitled Clever. Use it.
do that. We'll be here next Saturday. Bye. But wait, you could click over to the left to watch last week's show. It's all about Justin Bieber being Team Kanye, or click over to the right to find out if it's true that Tom Hiddleston dumped Taylor Swift on today's episode of Rumor Patrol.